A jaw-dropping video of Benny and Therasa Magnus has just erupted across social media, sending fans and critics alike into a whirlwind of speculation. It landed mere moments after an emotional Selena clip resurfaced online, one in which she breaks down in tears, confessing that she's finally allowed herself to fall in love and lower her defenses.
I wanted him to also know how committed I was, and deep down I just felt that. And I was tired of protecting myself. We had spent enough time together where, I felt like this was my person, and I had the courage enough to say it.
But now, in light of this explosive revelation, fans can't help but wonder, was Benny orchestrating a double game all along? The saga ignited when a TikTok clip blew up, capturing Benny Blanco and Therasa Marie sharing a dinner at a trendy LA hotspot. Posted back in March by content creator Harry Daniels, the video shows him crooning Selena's "Same Old Love" to Benny, while Therasa sits right beside them, water glass in hand. Initially, viewers shrugged it off as just another celebrity dinner, but it didn't take long for suspicions to skyrocket. For anyone who's missed a few headlines, Benny Blanco is the hit-making producer who popped the question to Selena Gomez in December of 2024. Therasa Marie Mingus, by contrast, is Selena's longtime confidant and former assistant, not Therasa Magnus, as some commenters have mistakenly typed. The real drama began pouring out in late April 2025, when eagle-eyed followers noticed that Selena had abruptly unfollowed Therasa on Instagram. In celebrity terms, that's basically the digital equivalent of a full-blown falling out, and the internet instantly went into sleuthing overdrive, piecing together every like, comment, and story to uncover what could have driven a wedge between these once inseparable friends.
I think some of the things that I don't even need to be aware of are just vile and disgusting.
That footage might actually date back to a past Hailey Bieber incident, but it perfectly illustrates how Selena typically confronts online drama and enforces her no-bullying stance, an approach that's highly pertinent as she maneuvers through this latest controversy. Things escalated further when a post detonated on X. Sorry, I still can't bring myself to call it anything but Twitter, courtesy of the Selena Gomez Charts account. They alleged that Benny had subscribed to Theresa's OnlyFans page, and the claim went viral, amassing over 9 million views, 54,000 likes, and 4,600 reshares. The digital timeline was instantly thrown into chaos, but the storyline grew even more salacious. The same post asserted that Therasa has been dropping by Benny's house regularly whenever Selena is out of town. Hardly a subtle move if true. No one has produced solid evidence, no photos, no direct messages, to substantiate these accusations. What's really twisting heads, though, is that Benny and Therasa continue to follow each other on social media, while Selena's one-way unfollow remains in place. That unilateral digital snub has everyone on tenterhooks, desperately trying to decode what it might signify. Let's take a closer look at who Therasa Marie Mingus really is. She's far from a peripheral figure in Selena's life. Therasa spent years working as Selena's assistant and has long been part of her closest circle. Back in the day, these two epitomized friendship goals, with Selena routinely sharing heartfelt shout-outs and gratitude-filled posts celebrating Therasa. Their bond always appeared rock solid, until this latest scandal began to bubble up. Let's unpack the OnlyFans angle, which has quickly become the flashpoint of this drama. For anyone who's been off the grid lately, OnlyFans is a subscription-based platform where creators monetize content directly from paying followers. While the site accommodates a wide range of creators, its reputation hinges on adult-oriented material. Therasa Marie indeed maintains an OnlyFans presence, which only amplifies the intrigue here. The claim that Benny Blanco quietly subscribed to her page is what truly sent Stan Twitter into a frenzy. If accurate, it strikes many as a glaring red flag, especially for someone who's engaged to your best friend's ex-assistant. Yet skeptics point out that the original post came from a chart tracking account that could easily be a parody, raising the possibility that these bombshell allegations are little more than clickbait. They argue that there's absolutely no evidence Benny ever subscribed to Theresa's OnlyFans, and that everyone's simply parroting an unfounded rumor. The fandom is utterly divided, with stan wars erupting all over Lipstick Alley, Reddit threads, and ONTD. Some die-hard supporters are convinced there's a clandestine betrayal afoot, while others insist it's just another case of toxic internet culture whipping up drama out of thin air. Then there's the unexpected twist. Therasa reportedly liked a post celebrating Selena and Benny's upcoming album. To many, that gesture reads like proof there's no lingering animosity. After all, if Therasa were truly sneaking around with Benny, why would she publicly champion his collaborative work with Selena? Even without concrete receipts, the controversy reached a fever pitch when the TikTok of Benny and Theresa's LA dinner re-emerged immediately after Selena's unfollow, sending the whole saga into overdrive. The timing couldn't have been more combustible, sparking an online frenzy of wild speculation and piling gasoline onto an already raging dumpster fire. An anonymous Instagram user claiming to be a hotel employee even insisted they had inside scoops about this supposed dinner rendezvous. But much like most of the rumors swirling around this controversy, it remains firmly in trust me, bro territory, with zero corroborating evidence. Amid all the chaos, it's easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. Selena and Benny have been embodying couple goals since their relationship became public in 2023, culminating in their engagement in December 2024. Before these recent upheavals, they appeared to be flourishing both personally and professionally, even releasing their joint album, I Said I Love You First, earlier this year.
I definitely have never been the first.
So this is the first time in your life you were the first?
Yes.
Wow.
I wanted him to also know how committed I was, and deep down I just felt that. And I was tired of protecting myself. We had spent enough time together where, I felt like this was my person, and I had the courage enough to say it, but I was very nervous, and luckily he said it back.
Did you say it back the first time?
In that segment of their joint interview, you can practically see Selena light up as she speaks about her bond with Benny. She even admits that she was the first to say, I love you, a milestone she'd never reached in any of her previous relationships. That level of openness underscores just how deeply she values what they share. Looking back at Benny's romantic past before Selena, his sole public relationship was with model Elsie Hewitt from 2019 to 2020, and there were no whispers of infidelity during that time. That clean record makes these current suspicions feel all the more startling, since there's no pattern of betrayal to lean on. By contrast, Selena's own history includes alleged instances of cheating. She has accused Justin Bieber of straying multiple times during their tumultuous on-again, off-again romance, and there were persistent rumors that The Weeknd was unfaithful with his ex, Bella Hadid. Given those experiences, it's easy to understand how raw and personal this latest controversy must feel for her. So, what unfolded once the internet essentially erupted over these cheating whispers? On May 2nd, 2025, just days after the rumors were trending harder than any viral TikTok dance, Selena delivered arguably the most elegant clapback of all time. Instead of issuing a formal statement or sharing a lengthy Notes app manifesto, she quietly posted a sweet Instagram story. A snapshot of Benny goofing around with their dog and doting on his nephew. No captions needed, no grand declarations, just a heartwarming moment that spoke volumes. We're solid, without uttering a single word. That, right there, is how you deftly parry gossip when you're an A-lister. And make no mistake, this isn't Selena's first rodeo with public drama. Back in October 2024, when speculation swirled after she was seen dancing with her co-star Edgar Ramirez at a concert, she swiftly defanged the chatter by sharing a video of Benny and Edgar dancing together. Mic drop. What really underscores Selena's savvy is the timing of her response. By choosing a low-key, genuine moment over a high-drama announcement, she reminded everyone that sometimes the best answer to rumors is simply to carry on with your life, preferably surrounded by the people and pets you love. Rather than rushing online the moment those whispers hit, Selena let a few days pass before addressing the chatter in her own understated way. Classic queen move, allowing the initial frenzy to subside before she spoke on her own terms. But let's get straight to it. Is there any substance behind these claims that Benny was acting shady with Theresa Marie? We need to separate facts from fanfiction. First up, that TikTok of Benny and Theresa sharing dinner is genuine footage. But let's keep perspective, friends. Especially someone like Theresa, who's been in Selena's inner circle for years, often grab meals together. Spotting two acquaintances at a restaurant doesn't inherently signal something untoward. After all, Theresa's longtime friendship and working relationship with Selena naturally brought her into Benny's orbit. The allegation that Benny secretly subscribed to Theresa's OnlyFans comes from an unverified viral post, with not a single screenshot or invoice to substantiate it. In fact, some eagle-eyed critics have even suggested the account that first made the claim might be a parody, which immediately casts doubt on its credibility. Likewise, the rumor about Therasa routinely dropping by Benny's house whenever Selena is out of town exists only as hearsay. There are no photos, videos, or credible eyewitness accounts to support it. In other words, it feels much more like a trust me, bro story than hard-hitting evidence. What we can confirm, however, is that Selena unfollowed Therasa on Instagram around April 29, 2025, a move that undeniably signals a rift of some kind. Yet, Selena has offered no public explanation for the unfollow, leaving the fanbase to fill in the blanks themselves. To complicate matters further, Benny and Therasa continue to follow one another on social media, and Therasa still follows Selena, too, an entangled web of follows and unfollows that only deepens the mystery. You'd think that if there were a genuine cheating scandal, we'd see a cascade of mutual unfollows. But that hasn't happened. Some fans have proposed alternate explanations for Selena's unfollow. Perhaps Benny and Theresa's dinner was a wedding planning session, and tensions arose over logistics rather than romance. Crucially, neither Selena, Benny, nor Therasa has issued any formal comment on these rumors. Their collective silence only deepens the uncertainty. Rather than penning a lengthy notes app manifesto, Selena chose to let her actions speak on May 2nd, posting that heartwarming snap of Benny with their dog and nephew. It's entirely in line with her strategy of countering gossip, not through direct confrontation, but by showcasing the strength of her relationship with positive, unfiltered moments.
And it's very rare to find people who love themselves and can love others as well. And I wanted my entire team at Rare to have that same message. So, we take care of each other as a family, and we just try our hardest to break down those standards. We love making the product.
In the interview clip, Selena emphasizes the importance of staying true to yourself and embracing self-love. An attitude she's clearly leaning on as she weathers this latest online upheaval. To put things in perspective, Selena and Benny's romance really does read like a modern-day fairy tale. They began dating in 2023, went public with their relationship that December, and officially got engaged on December 11th, 2024. From day one, they've been refreshingly transparent about the depth of their feelings for one another.
I respect Benny. Because he's done nothing but respect me. I, again, trust him. I can tell him anything, even if it's about something that's uncomfortable and maybe you should just talk to your girlfriends. Like, he is that. And that helps calm me down to say, okay, so I'm going through these things because of maybe what I had before or whatever it is.
In that interview segment, Selena speaks candidly about the depth of her trust in Benny, describing him as her confidant and safe haven, even when broaching the most awkward conversations. Hardly the testimony of someone plagued by fears of infidelity. Just recently, the pair joined Jesse and Lenny, on the Table Manners podcast to promote their collaborative album, with Benny delightfully reminiscing about the early days of their romance. And on May 3rd, 2025, just as the cheating rumors reached a fever pitch, they quietly released a deluxe edition of I Said, I Love You First. Their continued creative partnership and joint public appearances strongly suggest their bond remains unshaken, despite the surrounding noise. Selena hasn't been shy about sharing how past heartbreaks have shaped her. She's opened up about spending nearly 5 years in solitude after her split from Justin Bieber, and how that experience made her wary of trusting again. That she chose to risk her heart with Benny speaks volumes about the faith she placed in him, making any hint of betrayal all the more devastating, if it were ever proven true.
I think what I've created with the Impact Fund is a community. So I'll say this. I'll say if you are wanting to find out more on the benefits that we, or community that we have built together in Rare, that they could be a part of that. We do these Rare chats where we talk to everybody and we go through, even our team, we give meditation hours for my team members, and it's all about just collaborating and making a safe space for people.
In this segment, Selena speaks about the importance of carving out safe spaces and nurturing a sense of community, principle she clearly carries into her own relationships, which helps explain why she's handled this controversy with such poise. The saga quietly began back in March 2025, when an innocuous TikTok surfaced showing Benny Blanco and Theresa Marie Mingus sharing a dinner together. At the time, it barely registered with most viewers and quietly slipped through the cracks. Everything shifted on April 29, 2025, when vigilant fans noticed that Selena had unfollowed Theresa on Instagram. That very same day, a sensational post on the platform formerly known as Twitter claimed that Benny had secretly subscribed to Theresa's OnlyFans account, igniting a wildfire of rumors across social media. In early May, the original TikTok clip re-emerged and suddenly took on a much more dramatic tone, sparking waves of speculation and impassioned debates online. Then, on May 2nd, Selena offered her most subtle yet effective rebuttal. She quietly shared a heartwarming story showing Benny playing with their dog and doting on his nephew. In one simple image, she managed to address and effectively defuse the swirling gossip without ever uttering a word. Just 24 hours later, on May 3rd, Selena and Benny quietly dropped the deluxe edition of their album. An unmistakable reminder of where their priorities lie and a clever way to steer the narrative back into their own hands. When you chart the sequence of events, it becomes clear that this scandal hasn't driven a wedge between them. Instead, they've kept collaborating, appearing together in interviews and performances, and presenting a solid front. That consistency strongly suggests the swirling rumors haven't undermined their bond. Fan reactions have been a total mixed bag. Some are utterly convinced there's smoke to these cheating accusations and are rallying behind Selena in alarm, while others brush the entire saga off as typical stan Twitter fluff with no real substance. What elevates this drama from mere gossip to must-watch spectacle is how it taps into those timeless storylines. Trust tested, friendship strained, and the ever-present fear of betrayal. The notion that a close friend might be entangled with your significant other strikes at the core of betrayal, which is why this saga has captured so much attention despite the absence of solid evidence. Many have likened it to some of the most notorious celebrity relationship scandals, underscoring just how shattering such a breach of trust would be. Particularly for Selena, whose romantic life has been an often public roller coaster. From the outset, Selena and Benny's partnership has been defined by unwavering support and a shared creative spark. They even laid down tracks for their album in the comfort of home, fashioning a private studio where they could candidly explore their emotions and artistic visions together. That kind of collaboration speaks to a connection that transcends the typical boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic. They're literally building their joint legacy. Moreover, they've been refreshingly open about the evolution of their bond. In interviews, they admit that their relationship began purely platonically, no romantic tension, before genuine feelings blossomed. It's precisely this bedrock of friendship that likely gives Selena the confidence to brush off these baseless rumors. She knows firsthand that what they share is authentic and resilient.
I feel like it all happens for a reason. I feel like maybe me doing that is what disarmed her enough to we talked about this before, like if we would have met each other when we were younger, it would have never worked. It's like we've both grown as individuals and met at the perfect time. And I believe life is like that. And sometimes it doesn't make sense and sometimes it's not the right reasons. And we're like, why is this happening? But I always believe that, I don't know. I believe in fate. I believe in all that. And I believe, if you're good to people, karmically, it's going to come back to you 10 times over.
In that segment, Benny dives into the importance of timing, explaining that both he and Selena needed to grow independently before they could create something truly lasting together. Equally telling is the way they've managed their romance in the spotlight. They deliberately kept things low-key at first, only revealing their relationship when they felt it was right. That intentional strategy underscores their preference for authenticity over staged social media theatrics. And it's exactly the mindset they've brought to weathering this latest flurry of gossip. What really tugs at fans' heartstrings is the deep well of trust they've cultivated. In various interviews, Selena has shared how Benny taught her to open up again, helping her rebuild trust after her past heartbreaks. That's why these cheating rumors land so hard. They strike at the core of what Selena has repeatedly called her healing relationship, undermining the very bond she's worked so hard to restore.
What I felt for Benny, it was everything about him was honest. He'll tell me anything that he's feeling, and it made me feel like I could do the same.
This moment resonates even more in light of everything that's been unfolding. In the clip, Selena emphasizes the honesty and openness she expects in her partnership with Benny. Qualities that stand in stark contrast to the underhanded behavior these rumors imply. But it's also important to consider how this controversy plays into the broader narrative of female celebrities living under a microscope. Selena has weathered her fair share of public relationship sagas, from her high-profile Yelena phase to her brief connection with The Weeknd. That relentless scrutiny places enormous strain on even the strongest bonds. Selena has frequently pointed out the darker side of social media, how it distorts reality and amplifies negativity. That awareness clearly shapes her response to these allegations, leading her to trust her own experiences and the truth of her life with Benny rather than getting swept up in Twitter's version of events. The uproar over Selena and Theresa's friendship suddenly ending, with that high-profile unfollow, has everyone buzzing about what could have happened. While most chatter centers on cheating rumors, there are plenty of alternative explanations for their fallout. Some fans speculate that Benny and Theresa's dinner was actually a wedding planning powwow. After all, Theresa has been part of Selena's inner circle for years, so maybe the tension revolved around guest lists or decor, not clandestine romance. And let's be honest, friendships can fizzle for endless reasons without any dramatic betrayal at play. What's truly intriguing, though, is how Selena chose to handle the situation. Rather than publicly admonishing Benny or dropping veiled hints in her stories, she quietly posted that heartwarming photo, essentially saying, "We're okay," which implies she either doesn't buy into the allegations or is resolving whatever occurred behind closed doors with Benny. Either way, she refuses to let the online noise steer her personal life. In interviews, Selena and Benny have discussed their dreams of starting a family together, demonstrating that they're planning long-term despite the current distractions. They've also continued to nurture their creative collaboration, underscoring how deeply their personal and professional worlds remain intertwined.
I mean, I don't know what will happen, obviously, but I love children. I mean, I have an 11-year-old sister that I absolutely adore, and I'm still doing wizards this far along because I love children. I love making them laugh. They're just so sweet. So absolutely, when that day comes, I'm so excited.
In this interview clip, Selena lights up at the idea of one day becoming a parent, underscoring that her focus remains on building a life with Benny, no matter what the current gossip storm is throwing at them. What makes this saga so irresistibly viral is its core theme, the ultimate betrayal, your best friend and your partner crossing lines, and that taps into our primal anxieties and social taboos, which is why the rumor mill has everyone hooked despite the total absence of proof. Social media has supercharged the spread of these allegations. The original X post exploded to millions of views and thousands of reshares in record time, illustrating just how quickly unsubstantiated claims can spiral into a full-blown crisis for those involved. Yet, as of May 4th, 2025, all outward signs point to Selena and Benny remaining firmly united. No breakup announcement, no confirmation of infidelity, just the two of them pressing forward with their shared life and dreams. They continue to work together on music and show up side by side at public events, which strongly implies that these whispers are just background static rather than a relationship-ending crisis. So where does all this leave us? Yes, the TikTok of Benny and Theresa having dinner is genuine, and yes, Selena's Instagram unfollow of Theresa was real. But leaping from those two facts to confirmed cheating remains purely conjectural. In the absence of tangible proof or any official comments from Selena, Benny, or Theresa, we simply can't know what truly transpired behind closed doors. What we do know is that Selena responded to the noise in characteristically unflappable fashion, sharing that heartwarming snapshot of Benny instead of wading into the rumors. That choice speaks volumes. Her attention is firmly on her relationship's health, not on social media clickbait. It's consistent with her past approach to public drama and her long-standing critique of online toxicity. Proof, if it were needed, that she's determined to let her real life, not a rumor mill, define her narrative.
When Benny looks at me, I don't think he sees anything but who I am. Oh, that's so cheesy to say, but when you do know, it feels right.
This footage lands with new weight today, offering Selena's own take on what makes her connection with Benny so unique, underscoring the genuine bond and deep mutual understanding they share. For all the Salinators worried about their queen, it's important to remember how consistently resilient and self-aware Selena has been throughout her journey. She's faced intense public scrutiny, overcome health battles, and navigated very public relationship twists with tremendous grace, and continues to thrive both personally and professionally despite every obstacle. At the end of the day, only Selena, Benny, and Theresa hold the full context of what really happened. Everything we absorb from social media or gossip outlets is just a sliver of the narrative, refracted through layers of speculation and fan theories. This entire saga is a stark reminder of the huge gulf between online perception and the lived reality of celebrity life. Those viral clips and Instagram unfollow moments may give us tantalizing snapshots, but they're never the whole story. As fans and observers, it's important that we engage with these stories thoughtfully and compassionately, keeping in mind that real people live behind every trending hashtag. Regardless of whether there's any merit to the cheating rumors, Selena's reaction demonstrates the insight she's earned from years in the public eye. She recognizes the inevitability of social media upheaval, yet refuses to let it dictate the course of her personal relationships. As she forges ahead in both her career and private life under the watchful gaze of millions. That grounded, measured approach will continue to be her greatest asset, no matter how this particular storyline ultimately unfolds. Now, we want to hear from you. Do you believe there's some truth to the whispers? Where there's smoke, there's fire. Or do you see this as just another case of the internet blowing harmless rumors way out of proportion? Share your perspective in the comments below. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, tap one of the boxes on your screen to check out more content like this.